Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. And today, I'm about to bring to you my predictions for this Friday's NWA 312. Yes, it is a Friday show. However, I will not be viewing it on Friday live as it happens because I have a previous engagement. Now, more than likely I'll be watching it on Saturday and then review it on Monday, which should be fine. Grab yourself some snacks, maybe a little bit of a beverage, and let's do this. So, we got a couple matches on the pre-show. Don't know if I'm going to watch them, but I will predict them anyway. Kicking us off, we have the NWA United States Tag Team titles on the line. That's the Country Gentlemen, that's AJ Kazana and Anthony Andrews, take on the Savages, that's being Jack Dane, who is a former tag team champion, and Blake Troop, who is a relative newcomer and I believe a former MMA fighter. So, should be a decent little match. Country Gentlemen just won these tag titles from the Fixers, so I do not believe these titles will be changing hands. Next up, we got a very interesting matchup here. A hair versus mask strap match. Now, basically, strap matches, both attached at the wrist, and first pinfall victory. I believe, unless this is the, touch four corners strap match, which I always did not like. You got Sal the Pal versus Gags the Gimp, who are, I believe, still currently in the same stable. But Sal has been feeling a little bit outed, I guess. So, I don't think it's time to unmask Gags the Gimp, so Sal is getting a haircut. Sorry, Sal. This next one, I believe, should be on the main card, but, it is what it is. We got Trevor Murdoch and Mike Knox versus Daisy Kill and Talos. Daisy Kill has been bringing in some monsters to the NWA. Talos being the most recent one, and they attacked Trevor Murdoch, injuring him for at least a little bit, but then he recovered. He got attacked by Talos and Kill, and then Mike Knox making the save, which is very interesting. This one's kind of tough to call, because this is Kill and Talos' first match in the NWA. So I think I'm going to go with them. No offense to Murdoch and Mike Knox, but I think it's time to move these two guys up the card. Alright, that is up, and we got one more singles match, this time for the women's division. We've got Natalia Markova taking on Libra Escobar. I don't think I've ever seen Escobar. I think this is her debut. However, I think Markova's going to get the win, as she is going to, I believe, get into a title program soon. With who? Could be Camille. Could be maybe the tag team champions. We'll see. Alrighty, so that is it for the pre-show. Now we move on to the main card, in which we start with a singles bout, as Tom Latimer, the TV champion, takes on Bully Ray. Now this match is not for the title, which is an interesting call. So this makes me think Bully Ray is going over. However, they have been pushing Latimer really well since winning the TV title. So I think we're going to get a victory for Latimer here. Next up, we got a multi-person battle royal where the winner gets a shot at the NWA national title. More than likely not on the same night because it's being defended. We'll get to them. So, in this match, we have Jay Bradley, one half of the Fixers. Dylas, not sure who that is. Could be an interesting addition. Homicide, former junior heavyweight champion and legend in his own right. Rick Titus, former Ring of Honor television champion, former tag team champion. He's been everywhere. Jeremiah Plunkett, former member of the Ill Begotten, as we've seen on NWA Power recently. The Ill Begotten has been forced to disband, so he's on his own. Hale Collins, only seen him a couple times on NWA. I do like what I'm seeing from him. Mercurio, a kind of Latin lover-esque gimmick, which I find to be interesting. Bradley Pierce, I believe he competed once for the junior heavyweight division kind of recently, so that'll be interesting. Odinson, former one half of the End. Haven't seen Peril in a while in NWA. Hopefully he's doing good. Thrillbilly Silas Mason, a bit of a newcomer to the NWA. Certainly looking to get his spot up the card. And has been targeting the national heavyweight title recently. Wrecking Ball Legursky, the other half of the Fixers. Jordan Clearwater, the former NWA TV champion. Alex Taylor, another challenger for the junior heavyweight division. Rolando Freeman, a bit of an oddity as he recently competed for the NWA World title and getting squashed by Tyrus. PJ Hawks, one half of Hawks RE. Luke hasn't been around much lately, which we'll see what happens there. Matt Vine, I believe, is a bit of a newcomer to NWA. I don't think I've seen him on Power yet, so this could be interesting. Fodder, he's been hanging out with Angelina Love lately. He's a recent addition from Control Your Narrative. Magic Jake Dumas, I believe this is his return because he's been hurt for a little while, so good to see him in. Eric Jackson recently tagged with Tyrus on Power a couple weeks ago. Very impressive young man. Hopefully he gets pushed up the ladder. And the other half of the Freeman brothers, Rush Freeman. Now, I will say to this, the only person that really kind of makes sense here is Thrillbilly Silas, because he's the one actively targeting the national title. So I think he's going to get a big win here, and then in the future, whether it's the near future or the far future, he's going to get a title opportunity. Next up, our first title match of many. We have Kerry Morton defending the junior heavyweight title against Joe Alonzo. Alonzo recently cashed in his championship series shot against Morton. Had a loss. He then earned it against, I don't think it was Plunkett. It might have been Plunkett, actually, to get this new shot. I don't think it's about time Kerry Morton loses this title. He's held it with such prestige since beating Homicide. So I think he retains. Next up, we got the NWA World Tag Team titles on the line as La Rebellion, that's Bestia 666 and Mecha Wolf, take on Magnum Muscle, which is Matthew Mims, Big Strong Mims, and Dak Draper. These two have been teaming for a little bit now. This is Draper's Championship Series title shot, which, interesting choice. This is going to be an interesting one to call because you have other teams gunning for him, that being Aaron Stevens' crew. I forget their names, the masked guys. So I could potentially seeing them interfere or maybe putting themselves into this match. But overall, I think La Rebellion are keeping these titles for now. And speaking of the tag team division, we now have the women's tag team titles on the line, as Maddie Lankowski and Missa Kate take on Pretty Empowered. That's Ella Envy and Roxy. A bit of a new combination for Pretty Empowered, because it's usually Kenzie Page, and don't worry, we'll talk about her in a little bit. Maddie and Missa actually just won these like a couple weeks ago off of Pretty Empowered, who beat the Renegade Twins. So I am going to say Maddie and Missa retain these titles. Speaking of the women's division, we have the NWA women's title on the line, as we have La Rosa Negra taking on Camille for the title. This one's going to be very interesting. La Rosa Negra, I believe, was a late addition to the championship series. So, and Camille's been on a roll lately. This is tough to call because I like both these women. But ultimately, I think Camille is going to win. And maybe we'll see a new challenger down the line. Next up, we have the National Heavyweight Championship on the line, as Scion defends against EC3. Now, like I said with Thrillbilly, he's been gunning for the national title. I could potentially see him cash in that shot from the Battle Royal here, and then maybe winning it. It's definitely possible. I could also see EC3 winning this. Like, EC3's been getting pushed a little bit more. And honestly, I think he deserves a title run. So, why not have it be for the national title? And then maybe you see Scion and Austin Idol at odds a little bit. And start that breakup. Next up, we have the tournament final for the newly christened NWA Women's Television title. This has been a tournament going on for the next couple weeks. This is the final. We have Kenzie Page taking on Max the Impaler. Definitely going to be a one-sided affair. And honestly, I see Pretty Empowered getting involved here and Kenzie Page picking up a victory. Because honestly, that's how Pretty Empowered rolls. And that's going to piss off Max the Impaler and maybe extend this feud a little bit. Which I'm definitely okay with. And finally, our main event. We finally got there. As it's for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. As Tyrus defends against Chris Adonis. This match is going to be interesting, I feel, and it's going to be a one-moment match for me. You know, going to see Adonis try to apply the Master Lock. That's going to fail. Eventually, he's going to get it on, but Tyrus is going to power out and win. And honestly, I guess, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Tyrus, but he has been looking good with that title lately. So, maybe we'll see someone else dethrone Tyrus in the near future, but for now, Tyrus is going to remain the champion. Alright, that is it from me for Big Mike Talks. My next video is going to be on Friday. It is going to be the weekend review video, where I'm going to be covering Raw, NWA Power, MLW Underground, AEW Dynamite, in which I will be in attendance. So if you see this gorgeous mug, don't be afraid to come say hello. And then I'll probably cover Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor as well. Yeah, no SmackDown or Rampage this week. As I've said at the top of the video, I have a previous engagement. So, yeah, that is it for me. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your predictions for this show. And yeah, let's have a good afternoon. And until next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.